What's going on, everyone? Just got another UPS delivery, so let's dig in, check it out. Alright, so I unboxed all of the Painless products that have been sent to me, as well as the classic braid box. As you can see, there's quite a bit of wiring. It can be a little overwhelming. However, everything that they send to you has a label on it, which is great. I'm pretty sure every wire has its distinct purpose. Literally every single wire has a label on it. Also, you can see here they've gone ahead and made their own stickers for you to label your own things. Here we have our gauge wiring harness for the AutoMeter dash kit. A little dielectric grease. Tons of grommets, which is great because I literally just ran out. Lots of zip ties. I'm definitely bringing these on Hot Rod Power Tour. Probably not for the Painless kit, but for something else, you know, roadkill style. Quite a bit of electrical tape and some sort of other bonding adhesive. Tons of different sizes for the classic braid, as you can see here. Instruction manual. I literally just looked through this whole thing, really in-depth diagrams. Everything you need to know. Alright, so enough of this. Let's take these twist ties off, unravel this reel of wire, and start getting it installed. Alright, so got quite a bit of the electrical laid out. We got the tail lights over here. We got the main relay or the fuse block right there. This breaks into the engine harness, and then we also have another set of harness here. This, I believe, is for... See, this is what I love about this. Look, it's every wire is labeled. So accessory relay output. What else? Accessory relay to plus B plus. We got from instrument panel section to oil sending unit. That's the beautiful thing about this kit, is if you don't know where a wire goes, simply look at the text that's on it and it'll tell you exactly where it goes. So it's a little intimidating, I will say that. Any wiring harness is intimidating, especially one that's not labeled, especially one that doesn't already have grommets all attached to it. So this is like a kickstart to any project. If you have to make your own wiring harness, just picture that. Running your own wiring, it's a disaster. This, honestly, is probably the best kit out there. So we're gonna jump right into it and get installing this Painless wiring harness. Alright, so the Mustang has seen better days apparently. Looks like it just went through a tornado. Anyways, we got the old wiring harness for the front headlights and voltage regulator, as well as the alternator wiring harness. So we got all that laid out. So this is going to go in the exact factory location, which is over there. You can see the grommet. It's going to come around the shock tower, hug the shock tower, feeds the headlight, which is already routed, feeds the voltage regulator, feeds the horn. This harness goes down towards the alternator through the rad support underneath, like I said, pops back out. Then there's this harness that runs across. There's also another wire here for for the fan relay. So if I were to run an electric fan, which is gonna happen, the rest of the harness comes across. Nothing's pigtailed yet. Comes across, feeds the other horn, which you see right here. And it also feeds a ground, which is right here, and the passenger side headlight and turn signals, which is here. So that's pretty much done. So I asked my mom for a glass of water. She gets me the glass of water and this. Damn. Thanks, Mama. Alright, so just pulled out all the wiring for the dash. There is no more wiring except for the turn signal switch harness. And as you can see through right there, that's our new headlight harness and alternator harness. So I'm going to start by installing the bracket to hold the fuse block. Once that's done, I'm going to start installing the main harness through the dash. And I've also started to pull the harness that goes to the trunk. Now, I have to take this side panel off, which means I have to move all my tools. It's a nice like workbench right there. Anyways, I'm gonna get to it. Alright, so I mounted the fuse bracket somewhere close to the factory location. Can't see it from under there unless you peek up. So now I'm going to start installing the harness. Alright, so it's all coming along. It looks currently like a mess. I haven't tied anything, I haven't wrapped anything, zip tied. I'm just routing everything. But everything else is wired up. You got all the lights are hooked up. You got your washer or your wiper switch all hooked up. Fuse box is located down there. All the wires are going to be routed in the factory location. This grommet right there is for the instrument panel. Still got to hook up the grounds. Wiper motor's hooked up. Ignition switch is all hooked up. There's another ground I still have to hook up. You have the lead going to the engine bay over there. It's coming along. Alright, so got all the gauges wired up, all the lights all hooked up to their corresponding turn signals. Every gauge has its own harness and also its own lights plugins. This is the speedometer, same thing goes here and here. I just wanted to get this done, all loomed up nice. Every single wire has two twist ties or zip ties. So over here we have, where is it? Over here we have the tachometer. So if I ever get a tachometer, this is going to be the plug-in from AutoMeter. And we also have a few other wires here, like a parking brake wire, and just more power and more grounds and lights. So I don't need this part, all of this right now, so that's just going to be off to the side. I'll put little grommets on these so nothing arcs, but this is my main concern, especially to get the car going. So that's what I'm working on right now, just trying to figure out my layout of the systems, and then I'll get to work. Let's see if that engine and automatic transmission wants to survive. I plan on taking it for a good little drive, and if it survives that, then I'll start driving it as a daily driver for the next week. If anything happens, engine or transmission swap we do. Alright, we are live. The batteries are hooked up. The fuse didn't pop, which is a good start. Good start. Now I'm just going to go ahead and check everything. This is literally the first time. I just put the battery on. So let's see if... Oh, got an indicator. Just kind of scaring me because the key's off. Okay, we got power. 12 volts. I'm not sure why the water's reading that hot of temperature. Wasn't running. Obviously no oil pressure, and the fuel gauge is empty because wow, that's annoying. Alright, so the parking lights work, as you see here and here. Let's go turn the headlights on. And we have lights. Demonic. Alright. Unfortunately, I won't be able to check the brake lights. But I trust my wiring enough to say that they're okay. Still a mess back here. I'm going to be taking the car for a drive in a second, so if it breaks down, I have all my tools. Okay, this is exciting. So I got to put the license plates on. I'm not sure if I'm going to put the bumper on just yet, but I'm definitely going to put the license plates on. I have insurance and everything to make this car road legal. So I'm going to fill up the gas tank, or whatever gas I have, and take it for its first drive in 44 years. That's incredible. What's everyone think of the stats? Everyone like that? Good wheel choice? I dig it. Alright, I'm extremely relieved, minus about the turn signal switch or whatever that is. Actually, let's see. Now that I shut that off, let's see if I activate the turn signal. Okay. Let's see if we got anything here. Nothing. You know, I didn't even check the lenses to make sure that... Okay, that one's working. I didn't even check the rear lights to see if there's even a bulb in there. Good. Okay, I'm gonna check those bulbs before I leave. Yeah, definitely. Just to be safe. Shut that off so I'm not draining battery. It's a brand new battery. Whew. Exciting. Alright, let's get some gas in her. Alright, here goes nothing. First drive in the 1965 Fastback. Woo! She needs an alignment. She needs a few things tightened up, but she's driving. That's a start. See how long it survives. All right, so overheated a little bit. Let me turn my flashlight on. Yup. Holy, just freaking soaked everything. Yummy. So we're gonna let her cool down. And drive it back home. First breakdown in the 1965 Fastback. Oh boy. Support vehicle to the rescue. Alright. Getting a nice pull from a lovely truck. Back home, since I'm around the corner. You can see the car is coated in a nice... Okay. Coated in a nice layer of antifreeze. Yep. Just got a little bit too hot. It happens. You know what? I'm classing that as a win. First drive in 44 years. If you were in hibernation for 44 years, I'm sure you'd be pretty angry to wake up. Your bones would hurt. Everything. So 44 years for a car. I'm going to class that as a win. It shifted. Great. It ran. Not so great, but it ran. And I don't know. We got home at the end of the day. That's all that matters. It stopped. Suspension was good. A few little jumps and stuff like that, but I still got to tweak a few things, but we'll get to it. 5 days till power tour. I'm feeling some sleepless nights coming up soon. Maybe an engine swap, worst case scenario. Stay tuned. Mike from Classic Mustangs 429, signing out.